Hi, my name is Jonathan and welcome to Software Design from the Beginning. We're going to continue on from the last episode, but change gears a little bit and go back up to the checklist, the third law of software design. We have another acronym to go over, and that acronym is SURFACE. So I'm going to go and remove that and start putting a box down for the first part of the acronym. What's different about this acronym, the simple acronym, compared to immerse, is that immerse is the design principle. That's what you're busy working with while you're designing. This is really focused on the end user, the public-facing side of your application. So when we say simple here, we mean simple to use. It should be as simple as possible. We're talking about user experience, we're talking about minimalistic, we're talking about to the point, fit for purpose, and so on, but really to aid the learning curve for our user. I'd just like to interrupt this quickly and mention that I have a Patreon page. I have 2 patrons at the moment, and that's great. I'm providing them content ahead of time. These videos can be seen ahead of the public release. I'm writing articles, I'm writing books. I've got some free chapters and ebooks available on my Patreon page. If you sign up for as little as £3, you can get access to all that content. I have a Discord community. It is slow, it is just beginning, but you're quite welcome to come along. If you're Patreon, you get automatic access to that server, and you and I can have a chat and we can communicate, and there are others there in the channel that you can talk to. Back to the video. The second is useful. And there's no point in building something that has not got some kind of use. It has to fit for purpose once again. Useful is a little bit beyond that. Useful can be things that the user didn't think that they would need and suddenly they do. There is a lot to the useful concept. If you utilize this acronym, if you think of SURFACE at every point, the idea would be to think about software design, think about immerse, and then have a checklist of SURFACE, double check what you're doing, go back to immerse, carry on designing, go back to SURFACE, and so on. So that's how it's used. The third part of the acronym is robust. We do not want a system that falls down. We can't use a system that falls down because that kind of system is not useful. So you'll see there's a relationship, but obviously how can you use the system at all if the system is not there, right? So robust also means that it doesn't end up being a brittle system falling over every so often. Robust has to be longevity in terms of the solution and the longevity of being available, right? So robust is a loaded term and it refers to the system really being available. The next part is functional quality, and there are various forms of quality, and functional quality really is how the system feels when you're using it, when you're using a feature, what kind of features that are there and how it feels when you use it. That functional quality is also the right kind of functions mapping to the right sorts of things that users require. So there's a kind of a quality feel. This means that it needs to be fast, it needs to be available, it needs to be simple and useful and robust and all those kinds of things, and have a certain aura of quality. Functional quality is different to the aesthetic quality. Nobody likes using a system that looks terrible, right? We need pretty things around us. And so the aesthetic quality is also incredibly important. This is function and form kind of philosophy, but really function and aesthetics are equally important, especially when you're thinking of quality systems. The next one is completeness. Well, if a user is going to use your system, they're going to expect a certain set of features. And those features need to be complete in the sense of how they use the system, what they feel the system should have. Complete is being complete to the expectations, not requirements, but complete to the user. The user feels that it is complete. They can accomplish what they need to accomplish. In a sense, this is functional quality, this is usefulness, simplicity, and being robust and having the right aesthetics. It is all kind of related. The last being ethical. It is not only important to develop a system that can be used for our users, we also want that system to be used ethically by our users, and also we want to be ethical when we describe and provide functions and features to them. So ethics is really something we should really take care of when we delivering systems. Sometimes that's neglected. We develop systems that can be used and abused and then turn a blind eye when it's used in an incorrect way, and there are those that hide behind the system wasn't geared to be used in that way, even though we know that it is being used for that sort of thing. There is a kind of ethics, not is a kind of, but there are ethics that we need to consider. Right, so this is surface. So I'll end with just mentioning that, once again mentioning that the process involved in designing is one of checking your checklist. So you start with your boxes, you draw your boundaries, you create all the terminologies, your domain language, all the things you require. You're looking at requirements, you're thinking of your primary core, your structure, how it works. You're thinking of your conceptual layers. You're thinking of your relationships, the relationships between boundaries, the conceptual architectural layers, the separation, the messages, and that design that you're working on really is the message. It forms part of all the messaging that takes place through these layers. We also look at surface and immerse as checklists for, as we're designing, to realize whether we have the correct amount or level of agility, the correct extensibility, the correct environmental concerns, and even for the user, if it's simple, if it has a good learning curve, is it going to be robust. We don't want to design systems that is flaky, that is brittle, that is difficult to learn and understand. There might be an investment in complexity if you think of companies, how they deliberately, maybe that's a cynical view, but create products that are difficult to use, but then go ahead and sell courses and certifications and other things because it's part of their design, it's part of their business model. It is really up to us to be ethical in that way. Thank you for watching, and catch me on the next episode of Software Design from the Beginning. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let anyone know who might be interested in this kind of topic. Let them know that this playlist exists. Once again, thanks for watching.